Alright, welcome back to the SuperCoach Knife channel. In this video, we're going to review Game Week 7 of the 2025-26 Premier League season, looking at SuperCoach EPL and Fantasy Premier League as well. So SuperCoach EPL will kick off with not the best week for myself, only scoring 76 points, which wasn't even in the top half of the competition, and has seen me fall 3,000 spots. So all the way down to 6,400. If we have a look at the team, so I did get a head-to-head win, so that's something, I suppose. Petrovic in goal, only getting us a 5-point return. Probably has peaked in cash. Break even of 8 is doable, but probably 1 if you've got trades to look at moving on. In defence, Van de Ven with just a 5-point return. Calafiori with an 11-point return was okay, but still losing a bit of money. Diouf with just 2 points was underwhelming. Truffaut with 15 points, again, leaving points on the bench in our defence has been a bit of an issue this season. Rodon with just a 3-point return. In the midfield, Jared Bowen, only 3 points this week. Gravenberch with 6. Probably one who has peaked in price now, break even of 18. Fernandez with 10 points, so bouncing back from his poor performance last week. And Kamada scoring a 5-point return, so still making a bit of cash, but definitely a slow burn. Sarah on the bench for 2 points, so we did get that pick right at least. And then our captain Haaland did score, so 11 points was pretty good. Salah with just a 4 and Gyökeres with 3. So the pick and stick in the forward line really has backfired, unfortunately. Maybe time to move on. In the head-to-heads this week, so did beat Chicken Palmer, Yannick's team, with a 66-point return this week. He had Saliba and Raya do well against West Ham's attack, but after that, not a great deal to show for it. I guess I've faded Verts, which has been a good thing in this format. Lewis Skelly got a point. Guessing come off the bench, not too sure. But yeah, no Cole Palmer as captain. No Dewsbury Hall either. Don't know what happened there. No Rico Henry in defence. So yeah, and then had Foden on the bench actually went all right. So that's a bit stiff. But yeah, I thought it might have been a low-scoring week, but it looks like there was opportunities. A 153 for the be-all and end-all. So Harry's team. So VC'd Semenyo scored 29 points. Holy wow. I did have him in FPL, so that's something. But yeah, he's getting away. 13 mil, -8 break even. Had Truffaut on field, had Gabriel, 12-pointer, had Haaland, had Fernandez, Caicedo, and Grealish returning well this week. So we might have traded Grealish a bit early. Pretty much a perfect week. Had Reinders as well, so maybe we did leave a couple of points on the table. But well done, Harry. That is a monster score. In the second league, got beaten by right in the slot, Shane's team. So he played Truffaut on field, Gabriel, had Fernandez, Grealish, captain Haaland. So some nice returns there. Reinders got an 8. Pretty much, yeah, well played there. But the top in the second league looks like the Hooligans, Lee's team, with a 138 this week. So Declan Rice went well with an 18. Another Semenyo VC. You love to see it. Kudus with an 18-point return. That's nice. Yeah, so some big scores there. No Haaland and getting a 138. That's pretty impressive. You love to see it. Across the league, let's see who else went well this week. So Guardiola, 22 points this week. So at 9.9 mil, bit expensive, but does have a nice break even. Potential keeper. Munoz scoring well again, 20 points. So Marlon is the cheap option this week, 21. So not sure what happened there. Let's have a look at the stats. So actually played a full game for only the second time this season. Could revert back to the bench, and with fixtures against Tottenham, Man City, Liverpool, the next three, I think Villa is an avoid. Dan Burn went well with 19. Kudus is still relatively cheap at 9 mil. Guimaraes with 18 points at 7 mil probably offers a nice bit of value. Van Hecker from Brighton, don't know much about him if I'm being honest, but if he's a starter, might be worth a bit of a look. So, yep, played 90 minutes, finally got some returns. I'm guessing a goal or something. Yep, got a goal. So I don't think we're expecting that too often. But with the fixtures coming up, Newcastle, Man United, maybe not the easiest, but potential for some clean sheets at least. Get some cash going there. Mason Mount, not sure if he played big minutes this week. Hang on, I shouldn't have done that. So has been coming off the bench, but looks like he started this week, 65 minutes. Got a goal, albeit against Sunderland. So I don't know if we can, take that too heavily. Sesko did score a goal this week, but up against Liverpool, don't know if he's the cheap forward option that we back. Estevao, I think he's coming off the bench too, but did score the winner against Liverpool. So not consistent minutes. Does have a nice fixture though against Forest this week, who are struggling defensively. But yeah, might have to see. Break evens we'll have a look at as well. So I probably already featured a few. But Longstaff scored 8 points this week, so still has a really nice break even. Sesko at his price, negative 15 break even. Van Hecker, negative 12. Declan Rice, negative 10 after his 18-point performance. Semenyo still got a negative 8, as we said, but super expensive. Morgan Rogers reset his break even, but again, tough run of fixtures for Villa. Muniz still isn't playing. Kelleher's got a negative break even, interestingly enough, but probably still a bit expensive for what he can offer. I don't think there's too much to sort of, panic about. I think you can sort of just take your pick at the break even game. So I suppose we don't necessarily have to commit straight away, given we do have the international break. You'll see the games aren't on until the 18th. But I do think we may be looking to move on from the likes of a Salah and a Gyökeres. We do have a bit of cash in the bank, so we could always go to Semenyo and just hope that he keeps pumping out scores. So we can have a look. I mean, it's tough to back against the great man, but does have Man U coming up, which might be an okay fixture. Then Brentford away. So I think there's still a bit of hope at the price. But yeah, I think Gyökeres is one we can panic on. Saka took the penalty this week, so he probably doesn't even have that sort of base scoring opportunity. So we can afford to go straight to Semenyo. And then it's a question of the second trade. Do we look to upgrade in defence? Do we upgrade in goal from Petrovic, who's made his bit of cash? So it probably just depends where we want to look. So there is still a couple of good scoring defenders. So Munoz is one I am interested in. Bournemouth, Arsenal, Brentford, the next three. So if we've got Semenyo, don't know if we necessarily want to back against him with Munoz. But Palace are playing really well in their defence, so could be worth a shout. Senesi's been going good, albeit not fantastic this week. But I guess we've probably got to start playing Truff-Air if we're going to back in the Brentford defence. Palace, Forest is definitely a game to target, but Man City either side, so I think we can wait. Maybe someone like a Gabriel who's super reliable, plays Fulham. So their fixtures like Fulham, Crystal Palace, Burnley. That's actually pretty nice. Do we go back to Timber? 14-point return for him. So he's dropped a bit of cash. So just check his minutes. Make sure, yeah. So pretty settled there in the defence. So we like that. So guess what's Juice fixture like? Coming up. Brentford Leeds. Does offer that nice bit of attacking upside. Tottenham's got an okay run, I think. Yeah, well, it's not the best, but not the worst. Guess Rodon, he's probably never going to really get on our field. Is it time to cash him out? Maybe not against Burnley this week. We might hold for one more pay rise. And then West Ham's not the toughest fixture. So I think, yeah, all sort of holds. Don't know. As we said, we've got a lot of time to think about it. We could even just, look to upgrade Salah, which sounds weird to say. But, we could get Kudus for very, not a lot of cash difference. Minter, I wish we held in on him a bit longer. He's made 3 mil. It's pretty nice. Cody Gakpo, I guess, probably offers a cheaper way into the Liverpool attack. Probably, more consistent, or has been more consistent this year. But I guess just as consistent in terms of the starts, I'm pretty sure. Have a look at his stats. Yeah, did only play half against Crystal Palace, but some good minutes outside of that. Yeah, could do something like that. So we'll do that. We might change it. As I said, we've got 2 weeks, but something like that might be interesting. I think Haaland is just the set and forget captain at this stage, but we might back Gakpo to score against Man United as our VC. But in the FPL, scored a 53 this week, which was below average. Did drop about 1 million spots in the overall ranks, so still very volatile at the moment. But I guess with the international break, as advertised, we probably will play the wild card. Because if you have a look at the team, we had Semenyo, which was great, captained Haaland, but not too much going on in and around that. We are spending a lot of cash on the likes of Gyökeres and particularly Mo Salah. In terms of the league this week, so we did drop down, probably didn't win, which is fair enough. So yeah, big loss to the Yarra Spartans Bills team, who's probably doing pretty well overall. So yep, sitting inside the top 200k overall. 82 points this week is pretty nice. So thanks to Kudus, Semenyo, Haaland as captain, Munoz in defence, Porro, Saka also scored. So lots of attacking returns there, or maybe in Porro's case, no, it was an assist and defensive contributions. Scored a goal for Munoz. So some good things happening there in Bill's team. I'll just double check there wasn't anyone higher. There actually was. Shoab scored 89 this week. Guns N' Roses. So nice. Defence all getting returns. Had Guardiola, Semenyo, Haaland, Kudus all up front. Nice to see. Even had Truff-Air on the bench. So great week, Shoab. And his overall rank also up there 350k overall. So, as promised, wild card, let's play it straight away. And I think the first move is we do have to get rid of the great man, Mo Salah. Um, might be a little bit reactionary, but I think looking at those teams that we just featured, as well as the leading point scorers, I think targeting Akutis is a smart move. Sort of plays a similar role, but you're getting him for about half the price. Does leave us, a fair bit of cash to sort of spend. So what I'm thinking is might change up the attack a bit. I think we're getting out of Gyökeres. You know, I think Pedro pretty much locked in starter. Got enough evidence now that he is a viable option at 7.7 mil. Outside of that, Bowen is a bit hit and miss. He's not necessarily an out and out striker this season. I didn't want West Ham, sorry. I wanted the forwards. Ekatike, so started off the bench with Isak there now. So, and I think Isak's still working his way into it too. So at, what's he at, 9 mil or something? Bit too expensive at the moment. Thiago's an interesting one, 6.1 mil for a nailed-on starter. And, what have we got so far? 4 goals, no assists in 7. So 2.7 expected, so he's probably above average at the moment. Gyökeres outside of that one game where he scored a double, hasn't done a great deal, 1 goal against Forest. Does have an easier run though coming up, so do we keep the faith? Voldemada, so pretty much a locked in starter. 3 goals in 4 games. Let's have a look at him in the team. So gives us 9 mil. So midfield, is there anyone we're missing? You could argue like Caicedo with his, upside, 3 goals. How's he going for defensive contributions? Where are they listed nowadays? Defensive contributions, so 11-11. So pretty well locked into 10 per game. Or 2 per game, sorry. Although is it 10 or 12 for midfielders? I can never remember. I think it's 12. So he's probably just missed out. History. Where do you see the points? Don't know what I've done here. Go back. Just want the little one. I think this. No, I don't know. No. I don't know. I guess long story short, he is a good chance of the defensive contributions. I think at 5.7, like, I don't know if Kamada's necessarily set the world on fire. Oh, I prefer to go back. That's what I was doing wrong. There we go. Worked it out finally. Couple of assists, but I guess he is a nailed-on starter on a pretty informed team. So we'll give him a bit more of an extended run. Semenyo, I think, is a lock at the moment, given his form. Mente, doing okay. We might keep him. Reinders seems pretty nailed on there at Man City, so that's fine. So it might be, Kamada for Caicedo potentially. But I think what we can do with this money is really load up in defence. So, I think Rodon's done okay. Has some good fixtures, so maybe as an enabler we'll keep him. But Reynildo we don't really need. Definitely need to get out of De Kuiper. And I think we have to get out of Juve, just probably a bit inconsistent. So 22 mil does really open it up for us. So, just looking at the top picks, Munoz is a bit further down the list, but we could lock him in. like a Porro. We do have Van de Ven, so we could potentially move away from him. How did Timber go in that game? So an assist. So 2 and 2, only zero point 0.4 expected assists, but he's got 2 assists to his name. So that one was 0.3 expected assists, and he still nailed one. So maybe what's Calafiori doing? Even less, but has 2 assists in a game where he was expected 0.1 assists. With Gabriel, just the goal. I guess the defensive contributions would be pretty solid there. Probably should look at that as well for Timber and Calafiori. Might help make a decision. So not quite getting to the 10. Probably further away. So, I mean, there probably is a world where we can have both. We've still got 5 mil in the bank. So a bit of money to spend. Just a question of where do we want to spend it. Van de Ven out. Do we look at someone like Senesi, who's been really good? A couple of assists, 1 expected. Probably more so the defensive contributions. So yeah, some really nice. So I think this was the first game that he didn't get defensive contributions against Fulham. So it might be an easy way to a few points every week. Let's lock him in anyway. So I guess got the big hitters that we like: Munoz, Porro. A bit of the Arsenal defence is always nice. Senesi's in form, so we'll take advantage of that. Rodon's got nice fixtures, so could be useful at the cheap price. Yeah. Still got a lot of money in the bank, so. But the question is, where do you spend it? We're sort of fading Salah for the time being. Do we upgrade a Reinders or a Minter? Obviously, Kamada could be upgraded. But even then, you look at the form players. Caicedo's not that expensive. Rice is going pretty well, but again, not super expensive. So it is definitely bringing in some of these cheaper midfielders. I know I looked at Gakpo in SuperCoach. Maybe we just go all in on Gakpo potentially. What's Brighton's fixture like? Okay, what about Man City? Decent. Kudus, yeah, that's alright. Kamada. So maybe we can afford to upgrade Kamada. We don't really need to carry that sort of, price point. So gives us 2.3 mil. We could, nice little upgrade at goalkeeper. So with Brentford's got a couple of tough ones coming up. Dubravka's goes all right the next couple of weeks. So we don't necessarily need to spend up in goal. Who would we go to? So interestingly, Rolfs from Sunderland doing all right, 4.6 mil. Vicario, Raya, both going good. I think with their upcoming run of fixtures, we'll just leave the keepers. So what's that? We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 transfers. Let's do it. Lock them in. And we'll piece together the team. So I think Dubravka against Leeds is the matchup this week at home. So Rodon, not the worst against Burnley's attack. But we've got some big hitters here, so we might look at Munoz sub. I think we put Senesi on the bench, albeit first sub. Then up front, maybe this week Minter sits on the bench. So I might do it like that. So I think obviously with Salah out, we've got a bit more balance in the team, particularly through defence. Yeah, a bit more flexibility moving forward as well. Um, Captain, vice captain for this week, Haaland, I think, is pretty set and forget at the moment, as I said previously. I think Pedro against Forest isn't the worst shout for VC, given how much they are struggling with Ange in charge, as much as I don't like to say it. And yeah, so I think that will probably do it for now. Obviously, a bit of water to go under the bridge. Might try and do a round preview video next week with any changes in the wildcard team. Obviously, any updates to the trades here. Um, if I can find a bit of time to do some research, that would be helpful. But we'll wrap the video up there. As always, if you've got any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. Give us a like if you enjoy the Premier League content. Subscribe for all the fantasy sports content on the channel. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.